I'm a little bit close here today. I'm trying something different, but it's the weekend. Maybe we're ready to party. Maybe we're ready to drink. Maybe alcohol is something that we use to just unwind, relax, uh, just enjoy time with friends and family. Maybe we like going out to the bars. Maybe we like to just cut loose and just drink, have a party, have a good time. So, how many of us enjoy that lifestyle? Really and truly enjoy it? If we look at it logically and we really think about um, what alcohol is doing to us and to our lives, can we really be honest about it and tell ourselves that alcohol is really helping the situation? I think that if we can kind of look at it and be honest with ourselves, that's one of the things that's tough to do when we're stuck in addiction is to be honest with ourselves, right? I mean, we tell ourselves a lot of lies. That's just the way that it is. And drinking or not, it's just a human condition to, give ourselves the things that make us feel good in the moment, even though they might not be good for us. And and that's just how I looked at it pretty much my entire life. I would just look at alcohol like, man, I'm giving my life over to this. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I grew up with pretty much everybody around me drinking. My parents drank. My peers, my friends, they all drank alcohol. And and when I was like 13 and 14 years old, I kind of looked at it like, I'll never do that. No way. Uh, it doesn't look good. People that are drinking, they you can tell that they have problems in their life and that they're using alcohol to cope with life. And but when I turned like 15, I started uh I was like 16 when I started um school. I was 15 when I started my freshman year in high school, and I was looking for something to find like solace because I just was very insecure. I mean, I just looked at my life like, man, I can't handle pretty much any of this. Um, and then I pretty much carried that through into my adulthood. Uh, the self confidence lacked. There's no way I would have been on here making videos, even just like 2 years ago. It took me like 3 to 4 years of pure sobriety to finally reach a point where I could uh, talk about my addiction and the problems that alcohol was causing me. But even further than that, to go on camera and actually open up about the things that alcohol caused me. I mean, it really wreaked havoc on my life. And when I was stuck in the moment, in the addiction, even though it was like almost 3 decades long, it didn't matter. Alcohol was like my constant friend. It was something that I could turn to when times got tough, even when times were good. I used it to celebrate. So it was like I just used it for every single occasion, and I feel like that's kind of what this our society uses alcohol to for everything. You know what I mean? Uh, and here we are. We're at the weekend. It's starting to warm up. It's summertime, and it's. I mean, everybody's going out to the lakes, the pools, and that might sound appealing, but if everybody's drinking, and you don't want to drink anymore, it's going to be kind of hard um, to get through it without using alcohol. And so that's what this group is for. That's what this channel is for. That's what I make these videos for, is to help, uh, to kind of put into perspective what alcohol is doing. I mean, until I got some distance from it and really could recognize what alcohol was really doing to me, uh, I wasn't able to see clearly. I thought it was helping, and I mean, there's truth in the fact that alcohol does help, at least in the short term. But once you reach that threshold of going from just casual drinker to addicted, it's hard to see the truth, and then we just continue to lie to ourselves, and that's where the real issues begin, is when we give into the notion that alcohol is okay, and that we're okay with being a drinker, and then we accept ourselves for just that. That's just who we are, and that's just how it's going to be. It's the weekend. I'm going to go party. I don't care, uh, if I get into trouble, if I cause a scene or have problems. It doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that I can drink and get to that next drink. So it doesn't really matter what happens. Maybe that's fun. Maybe that's the fun part of it. Maybe that's uh, the risky behavior is what really is fun about it, um, and the possibility of what might happen. Maybe that's. I mean, I liked living on the edge. I still do. I like to take chances. But I like to measure it, and it's easier to measure those chances and those risks now that I don't drink, because I'm more clear-minded. I'm able to look at a situation a lot more rationally, a lot more logically, and think it through, and see if it's really worth that, making that mistake. And maybe it's just saying something. As drinkers, we typically, I don't know if you had a problem with your mouth, but I sure did. uh, and I didn't want to admit that that was a problem, but I mean, the Bible talks a lot about keeping your tongue in check, and I didn't keep my tongue in check, and I really thought it was my right to speak up a lot of times. And but the problem with that is that, I mean, I just felt like I was never heard as a drinker, and that was one of the reasons why I continued to drink, is because I felt like nobody was really listening to me. Nobody really resonated with what I was going through, and so the alcohol kind of quieted that anxiety, quieted that concern and that care. And then I might just start drinking like now. It's only 9:18. I usually do these videos at 10, but I have to work today. But I might just start drinking after breakfast, man, and just continue on if I'm not working, and just drink all weekend. And it's not really, alcohol is really not conducive to family life. Uh, it's next to impossible to be a good spouse and a parent when we're drinking. And I watch so many um, people my age that I grew up with, and friends and acquaintances, use alcohol like it's no big deal, and just drink and drink and drink, and then maybe drive. And they have kids at home and a spouse at home. And man, I feel for them, because they'll open up to me and tell me that they're not sure why they're drinking so much. But the honest to God truth is, they're drinking a lot because they're addicted to it, but they don't want to admit that. Admitting that is hard to do. But saying it out loud and then just kind of listening, I'm like, man, if I'm honest with you, you're drinking a lot because you're using it as a way to cope with life. That's just real talk. Um, and that's just how it is for me with sobriety now, is that I can just be upfront and open. They might not want to hear that, but the God honest truth is that if you're drinking 8, 9, 10 beers, um, and you don't know why, that's an issue. That's a lot of beer. If you're drinking 4, 5, 6 glasses of wine, a bottle or two of wine, and you think that that's okay, um, I mean, if that works for you, I mean, for me, it worked. I mean, I made it work. I was functioning. I mean, I could drink a 12 pack of light beer and function. Um, Not well. I mean, if I'm honest, I wasn't functioning well, uh, because like I said, I said and did things while I was drinking, and the more and more I would drink, the less and less I would be able to make good choices, say the right things. Sometimes just saying nothing is better than saying anything at all, you know? And and that was what really started to kind of show out in my life, was that I really just my anger and my irritability were through the roof, and the alcohol stopped helping that, and it was making it worse. So uh, I was irritable, like even when I was in the midst of my drinking, I was irritable. And then add on top of that, the next morning when you're hungover, I mean, it's not good. It's not fun. And so I got to a point where I was able to kind of look at the hangover, focus on how sick alcohol was making me, and then never really focus on, and they call it FAB, the fading effect bias. Uh, the longer you go without alcohol, and then you start to forget about all the bad things that alcohol caused, and only focus on the good parts of alcohol, that all starts to, the good stuff starts to come to light, and the bad stuff starts to fade away, and it's fading effect. And that's really when we can get into trouble, is when fab kicks in, because man, if we're only thinking about the good things, then we're going to drink again. So one of the things that I did was start a sobriety group. It's on Facebook. It's a private group. I call it Sobriety in the Storm, because life isn't always easy. It's easier without drinking. It's really easier than it is as a drinker. And so we're doing this stuff even in the midst of storms. We're able to not drink, and we're able to feel more empowered by not drinking. And that's what this is all about. So I've got my group pinned in the comment section of all my videos. So if you click on my little icon, you can go to any of my videos, and I've got the link pinned on there. I only plan on going about 10 or 15 minutes today, so I'll wrap it up at this. But if you're struggling, if you need any kind of help, any kind of assistance getting through an urge, feel free to reach out either on YouTube or on my Facebook group. And I hope that you can make it through the weekend. Try to steer clear of people that are drinking. If you're newly sober or trying to get sober, those kinds of things, you can wait a few weeks. Give it a few weeks, a month without alcohol before you start hanging around people that are drinking again. But then you can see really what it's doing to you, because it's really not necessarily helping matters to jump in with that group of people that are supposedly having fun, but really in the grand scheme of things, we don't see what's going on behind the scenes in their life. So it might look great in the moment, but man, we're not in their skin. We don't know what they're dealing with. And 10 to 1, if they're binge drinking, we know that their life is turmoil. So getting out of that, frame of mind and into sobriety is where it's at. So thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. Please come over to my channel, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you on Monday. I'll be back for a live on Monday at 10, and we'll see you there. So have a great weekend, everybody. Stay sober and reach out if you need anything. We'll talk to you then.